It had seemed until a few hours ago, when they'd picked up their speed, that they were being shadowed by the two Del Norte town lawmen. Bloody Joe's deputy sheriff's commission gave him jurisdiction to pursue outlaws into the rough country beyond Del Norte. Around Del Norte, surrounded by 3 mountain ranges, the Sawatch in the north, the Sangre de Cristos in the southeast, and the San Juans in the west. It was pretty much all rough country. Rough country filled with outlaws on the dodge. I'm pretty sure they realize now they've acquired shadows, Rio, Mannion said as he stepped up onto the roadhouse's rickety front stoop. A player piano was pattering away inside beyond the bat wings. They may very well be waiting for us. I'll keep my eyes skinned. Let's go in and have a drink. Let 'em make the first move. All right. Mannion pushed through the bat wings and stepped to the left, quickly surveying the drinking hall before him. Rio walked in behind him and stepped to the right of the bat wings, clattering back into place. He held the shotgun straight out from his right hip, ready for trouble. There were only 3 customers in view. 2 men in prospectors' dusty, worn canvas and wool garb playing two-handed poker near the bar, and a man in a cheap suit and bowler hat, likely a drummer, chatting and chuckling with a scantily clad half-breed whore at a table just ahead and right of the door. All faces turned to the newcomers and instantly acquired serious casts. That the place was further occupied was apparent by the groans and sighs of love-making, if you could call it love, in the second story, up the stairs, running along the wall to Mannion's right. A bed was slamming metronomically and roughly enough against a wall up there to make the entire building shake. A balcony in the main drinking hall's upper right showed 4 closed doors and some shabby furniture on which 3 more girls, as scantily clad as the half-breed girl sitting with the drummer, lounged around, smoking what smelled like opium and passing a bottle. It was behind those doors that the festivities were taking place, if you could call it festive. All 3 doxies turned to regard the newcomers, their own painted faces acquiring instantly serious expressions as well. Their eyes were glassy from the effects of the midnight oil. Mannion wasn't normally a patient man, but he didn't want to get anyone killed except the men he was after. He and Rio would take their time, let the outlaws come to them, which they would eventually do when they'd slicked their lust in the rooms on the balcony. Joe turned to Rio, then canted his head toward the plank-board bar running along the wall to his left, and behind which an old former prospector, Leo Tollefson, short, bald, and long-faced, stood looking a little constipated. The player piano, abutting the rear wall straight out away from Mannion and Rio under a giant, snarling grizzly head, continued pattering away, its tinny off-key notes echoing around the cave-like room. Mannion headed for the bar, Rio falling into step behind him. "Why, Joe Mannion, as I live and breathe," Tollefson said, fashioning a brittle smile on his thin-lipped mouth. His long face was sandwiched by shaggy mutton chops. "What brings you to this canker on the devil's behind?" The stiff smile told Mannion the apron knew exactly what had brought him and Rio out here. Mannion fashioned a smile of his own and chuckled, playing along. "Oh, you know how it goes, Leo. The hustlin', bustlin', endless consarn traffic of town wears on a man's nerves. We decided to ride out and partake of the peace and quiet of the San Juans, Rio and me." "I know how it goes, Joe," Tollefson said, plucking 2 shot glasses off a near pyramid and setting one in front of Mannion and one in front of Rio, who laid his big barn blaster across the bar to his right. "I know how it goes. Nothing like the peace and quiet of the country. Not a city man myself." He filled Mannion's glass and then Rio's. "Don't quite